flying burger.
Oh, there's not.
Our education.
It's great to be in Magnolia, and I just came from SAU. What a great institution of higher education here in the state of Arkansas, but particularly South Arkansas, and I'm really delighted that they have their new engineering program. I understand there's 50 new students, which exceeded their expectations on their entering class of engineering students. So that's really exciting. And not only is it good for SAU, but it's also great for the economy of South Arkansas. So I've talked to a number of businesses and engineering firms that need increased number of engineering students that want to stay in South Arkansas. So that's really good news. Also, of course, delighted with just the growth, the opportunities that SAU doing a terrific job for South Arkansas and our state. Higher ed, what's important is that we continue our commitment to higher ed and do not decrease funding. And that's my commitment, that we make sure that we do not decrease our funding for higher education, which means you're putting more of a load on student tuition. We've got to keep our tuition affordable for our students, and SAU is a great example of that.
Let's talk a little bit about the development of natural resources in South Arkansas with our oil, timber. Of course, timber being driven by the housing market and the ups and downs that we've seen in that. What do you see your job as governor and in promoting the use of our natural resources?
Well, timber is such a huge economic driver for South Arkansas, and we've had a struggle since 2008 with the downturn in the housing market. It's hurt our timber production, and it's starting to come back, but it just illustrates the fact that our national economy impacts us tremendously, and so we want the national economy to grow. You know, as a state, I think there are some very specific things. One, we want to make sure that our regulatory burden on the timber industry is not overly burdensome. We want to make sure we're in partnership with them. Secondly, we want to lower the state income tax, which helps every industry category, particularly those in the middle income that we're working for. And then it's also not just the housing industry, but it is also the paper industry and the paper products that's been diminishing. But you know, the state needs to recognize the fact that the timber industry and these products are very important for South Arkansas. We've got some, not just the timber itself, but the forest products industries that has the manufacturing of multiple forest products. In northwest Arkansas, of course, we see housing picking up, but we need to drive that economy statewide so that we can. And my focus is jobs and the economy and economic growth, and that will benefit the timber industry.
Let our trick-or-treaters go by here. Oh, go ahead. Y'all. Oh, how cute.
No, I got them. Run over nobody else.
Okay, we'll pick up with Department of Corrections, crime, prisons. Of course, you're aware that Magnolia is bidding for the state prison site. That's under consideration. We'll start that in 5.
Well, without any question, we need additional prison space. We have overcrowding of our county jails. We have an ineffective parole system, largely because we don't have space to put some of the parole violators. And so we're going to have to increase our prison space, but the recommendation is a $100 million new prison, and we may have to have that, but I want to make sure we look at every alternative, and because that's a hugely expensive burden for our state. But once I look at all the options and whether we need that, then we'll make a determination, work with the legislature, either funding that or look for an alternative, but clearly we're going to have additional prison space.
Sheriffs and county judges seem to be rather desperate to have more funding from the state for the operation of jails. How would the Hutchinson administration address that?
Well, the counties have been burdened by low reimbursement rate and as well as a backup. And, you know, they like county or state prisoners, but we've got to make sure they're reimbursed properly for it. So I'm committed to raising the reimbursement rate for the counties for the prison population that's backed up in their jails. But I hope we can also have some long-term solutions. and that would be in terms of giving some relief so that you don't have that backup. We want to look at the regional jail concept. We want to look at whether we need to have a maximum security prison or others, and we also want to beef up our parole system so that we can change behavior versus just simply locking people up.
Thank you very much.